So it is August 1st, and I just want to give my thoughts on my garden this year, and what has been successful. Excuse me. Cucumbers, pickling cucumbers are freaking crazy. Like, I even have to cut back the plant because it's getting to be too much. It's strangling everything that it comes in contact with, which I'm not complaining because I think I've gotten about 25 to 30 cucumbers so far this year. I've got about 15 in the drawer, and I just pulled two more from the garden, which I'm sure I missed some because it's like that crazy. I just pulled a bunch of lavender again. That's been really successful. My onions and garlic have been really successful this year. Though some of them are a little bit smaller, but I've gotten some like really good hefty ones. Um, let's see what else. I just pulled a bunch of green beans, which is good. I think I'm going to plant another round because they're really easy for me to get to. Um, and I'm going to blanch those, which I also need to blanch my butternut squash. Still haven't done that yet. And this from last year's season. Let's see what else. The peppers are coming in really nicely. Something on my face. Uh, the Buena Mulata ones, the purple ones that I've been showing, have been like the best peppers I've ever grown. I do have a bunch of sweet peppers coming in, and my jalapenos are coming in really nicely. My dill is doing really good. The tomatoes are doing really good despite, the storm damage. And I still have a bunch of potatoes I need to pull. And all the flowers are doing really good. The only thing that's not doing great is the Boston cucumbers slash English cucumbers, because I've had to replant those so many times because of the woodchucks. But I think we're just going to get those later in the season. What has not been doing good are all of my berries. I'm hoping to get some raspberries before the birds pick them off. But also last year my plant did produce so many berries that I still have like 3 pounds of berries in my freezer from last year. So I'm not too upset about it, but it would be nice to be able to go out and pick some fresh raspberries. Blueberries, I had them covered, but those pesky squirrels and chipmunks got underneath the covering, and same thing with the strawberries. They're eating through the covering of the strawberries. So I've been getting strawberries, just not for me at all. So I have to come up with a different plan for those for next year. Um, what else? I think that's really about it. I did in the beginning of the season have some really good lettuce growth that I was able to get that actually I planted last year in the raised bed, but I think the winter stunted it. But in the springtime, it really just it just grew. And I was like, oh, okay. Swiss chard's doing okay, provided that something doesn't bother it. Um, as you know, I had a woodchuck problem. I mean, they still live in my yard. Like, they have a summer home in my yard, but it is what it is. They have not disturbed my garden at all. So I'm thankful for that. But now I've got a mole that has come in and started eating my celery and my Swiss chard. Which the celery in today's weather, which is like no humidity, it's freaking gorgeous. It's probably like low 70s, high 60s. And the celery is probably liking this weather more than the hot weather. So I've got to pick that, and I'm just going to chop it up and I'm going to put that in the freezer. Um, and the Swiss chard I've got to pick, but I'm going to do that later. I don't have the energy for that right now. I've been doing my gardening in small bursts. Today's the perfect day for it. We've got my husband's gonna be doing the pickling cucumbers. He's gonna do one batch without peppers and one batch with the peppers, because we're giving some of them away too. as a thank you for, you know, buying off the baby registry for like his coworkers and stuff like that. But now we're just waiting for the tomatoes, which I'm really excited about because we have 3 varieties of tomatoes in our garden that we've never grown before. I don't know how they're going to be. What I do know is that I need tomato cages for them because the tomatoes on a lot of these are so heavy that that's part of the reason why they're breaking, on top of the heavy downpours that we've gotten here in Rhode Island. So I think that's it. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, the squash. So no pumpkins yet. Fingers crossed. I'm like really like, come on, pumpkins. I at least want one so I can do a little baby picture with my basically newborn son next to a pumpkin in our own pumpkin patch. If not, I'll just go out to one of the local farms. No big deal, because we like to do that anyways. So we'll probably take him apple picking, even though he's not going to know what's going on. But it'll be a different view for him, and it'll be fun for us as a family. Really excited about that. I'm sure you guys can tell. And then my summer squash. Usually I'm getting squash by now, and I decided to do a grow bag this year so I didn't have to combat or fight the plant and the weeds and all that stuff. And I'm just gonna do like either raised bed or in ground next year because the soil in the grow bag is drying out so quickly, especially when it's like 90 million degrees outside. So that's that. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for my fall garden. It's got to be really easy. It's probably just going to be a bunch of greens. I want to try and grow rutabagas this year, and then like mash them up and try them. I personally have never had them, but I also am trying to freeze things so I can puree them for baby food. And there's, from what I understand, they're very similar to mashed potatoes. So I'm like, fingers crossed we'll all like them. If not, I'm just going to give the seeds away to one of my garden buddies. Definitely a bunch of greens, all kinds of lettuces, kale, probably more radishes, more carrots. The carrots in the garden are doing really good. Wasn't sure at first if they were going to grow, because you really do. You have to, your root vegetables, you have to water them every single day. Make sure they don't dry out, especially with carrots. And there was a moment there that I'm like, oh, I don't know, but nope, they're growing, so I'm happy about that. My Thai chilies are coming in. Oh my gosh, there's gonna be so many, and we're gonna do, because we have onions and garlic. We're gonna do a salsa, a pepper salsa or pepper relish. Not for me, because I can't unfortunately do spicy anymore, which I'm really bummed about because I have all these spicy peppers, but I have 2 varieties of peppers that are not spicy for me. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I would like to show what I'm doing in the kitchen because I was doing that like before on my channel. But with everything that's been going on this past year and a half with like family medical emergencies and like me just being way too tired while pregnant, like the first trimester was so trying. The second trimester was okay, but there was nothing going on in the garden. There was nothing really to show. And now I'm like nearing the end and I'm like freaking exhausted, but I really wanted to be like, hey, this is how you blanch butternut squash, or hey, this is how we make pesto, because there's a bunch of basil and we're going to make pesto. I like to freeze it. I like to have some in the fridge and I like to freeze it because then I can take some out for the winter and do like a white pasta, and it's just really good. Though the last time I made it, it was too salty because I used Romano cheese and salt. So if you use Romano cheese, don't use salt because Romano cheese is already very salty compared to Parmesan. which generally is what you put in the pesto, but we like Romano, so that's what we're gonna do. What else, guys? I don't know. I've got my plants here. My mint's doing okay. All my mint varieties. I've got to kind of cut it back a little bit. This weather's really good for them. They don't like the heat per se. I got to clean out my greenhouse, set that up, and really just wait for this baby to come. So I'm 33 weeks right now, and I mean, you really could have a baby at any time from now till like 42 weeks, which I'm hoping it's not that long. I can't do it. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I mean, if they're, I'm, I'm maybe limiting my posts for a little while just because, like, I'm gonna be in labor and trying to get used to like having a baby around and stuff like that. But there are things that I want to show you. If you guys have any suggestions too, please let me know. I'm sure some of it's going to be like, hey, we'd like to see what you do in your kitchen. My kitchen's been a mess, so that's one of the reasons why we haven't. But I like to try and do a little bit more of that. So that is my garden thoughts. If you've stayed through this video, thank you for watching. I really want to thank everyone who's been following me for however long. If you're a new subscriber, if you're an OG subscriber, whatever. I really just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking around and listening to me ramble about things. So don't forget to hit that like button. If you see this and you're new, subscribe. That'd be awesome. And I hope you guys have a good day. Happy August.